Now, the Yetzer Hara is very, very smart, very clever. It makes people think that eating non-kosher cow is better than eating pig. No. This is not allowed, that's not allowed. Now, sports, where does the word sports come from? Sparta. Sparta was a place where you have people where all they cared about is their body, their physique, the materialism, and the anti-Torah. What does it mean to be anti-Torah? Anti-Torah means they cannot live in peace so long as the Torah exists. So these people, these Reshaim, did everything they possibly could to destroy the Jews by enticing them to join sports, to live life, to be careful about their physique, do all types of exercises. They made the Colosseums where they still have these Colosseums in the old ones in Rome and other places around the world in Greece. But then you have giant ones all over the United States. You just call them sports stadiums. These are Colosseums, where you have 22 giant overgrown males trying to kill each other over some pigskin, or a bunch of guys trying to fight over a little ball. Whatever it is, all of these people, this is all Sparta. This is continuation of Sparta. Now, the mentality of following sports being allowed is one of the tools of Amalek, one of the tools of the Erev Rav, that you're allowed to follow sports. Why? Because sports, unlike anything else, sports is very addictive. You can't just watch a game that you don't know who's playing. Like, you're not just going to watch some random high school basketball game and everybody else is just an average player or less. You have to watch the NBA. And it's not just the NBA, you have to watch the team that you like. And how you're going to like them, you have to follow them. You have to follow their players, and who they're trading, and who they're getting as the Rookie of the Year, and who's the best assister, and who's the best dister, and datter, and all datter, and what kind of sneakers is he wearing, and what kind of this, and what's his salary cap, and he's getting paid too much, and he's getting paid too little, and he's signed with Nike, but he's with Adidas. And what ends up happening? You become a fan. What's a fan? Where does fan come from? Fanatic. Fan comes from fanatic. That's what a fan is. Fanatic about sports. You know everything about these teams. So you're not just watching a 90-minute game. You're investing your life into it. Because in order to like the game, to like the teams, you have to know who's playing and why you like them. You don't just like them because he's 6'6" and jumps 40 inches into the air and he runs a 40 and a 3.9. No, you don't care about that. You care about different things. So that means you have to invest a lot of time into this. And that is a lot more than the 90 minutes of the actual, or the 60 minutes that the basketball game or the football game or the baseball game is. It's a huge investment. You're constantly watching it. You're constantly looking at it. You're constantly arguing about it. Which means that even when you try to learn, you're thinking Rabbi Akiva, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, also Rabbi Akiva, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Michael this, Michael that, LeBron James. You're not even sure who you're reading about. You're starting to think, maybe Rabbi Akiva and Rava, maybe his Talmidim, maybe Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the cave, he had a basketball hoop. You start distorting things in your head. You can't be focused when you're a fan. Now, are you allowed to play sports is a different question. Playing sports in order to exercise is allowed. You're allowed to play a little bit of basketball as long as it's not on Shabbat, because for anyone that's an adult, the ball is considered muktzeh. And it's also something that you do during the Yemei Chol, during the weekdays. It's not an action that you would do on Shabbat. But if it's during the week, you want to exercise via playing basketball, via exercising, running, or something like that, whatever you want to do, that's allowed. That's allowed to exercise. But to become a fanatic, to become one of these people that watches the games on a regular basis, absolutely forbidden. Not only as a bitul Torah, but also as could be even considered avodah zarah to some extent. Why avodah zarah? When you become a fan, and I know quite a few of them, you simply start obsessing over these people, obsessing over the sport, fighting over it, crying over it. Your team lost. I can't believe it. Like, why is Hashem doing this to me? Why is he doing this to me? What? You're 25 years old, you idiot. You're crying over a bunch of people that make $50 million a year because they lost? You idiot. Do you understand what they're going to do to you in Shamayim for crying over this, but not crying over the Bet HaMikdash? You didn't cry this much when your own father died, but you're crying over a basketball game, a football game, and not only that, you're blaming Hashem. Why is Hashem doing this to me? Like he has to change the world so you can continue going against him. The demented mentality that we have sometimes really boggles my mind. It's Mamash Chesed Elokim that we're still alive. You see grown men crying over their football team, their basketball team, or God forbid if they're from Europe, or they're not area of the world, soccer, Hashem Yishmor V'Yatzil. There's been murders over that game. Literally. They kill people. You think this is what Kadosh Baruch Hu says, Kadoshim tiyu ki kadosh ani, you're a holy nation? You think he was referring to those people? No. He was talking to us that are learning Torah, that are fanatic about Torah. You want to use exercise, use it for exercise, no problem. But to spend any time watching these sports, absolutely forbidden. In fact, the Stipler Gaon, Rav Kanievsky's father, Stipler Gaon says, television, you watch television, news, games, all that stuff. In his days, it was much better TV than today. Even in his day, he says, watching regular news networks, regular TV, avodah zara mamash. He called watching television, you watching shows, you watch Netflix, you watch movies, regular basis, this is your life, you watch sports, avodah zara mamash. Idol worshiper. Yeah, but he goes to shul, Rabbi. Okay, so there's a lot of people that idol worship go to shul. So, a person needs to understand, in order to become the Jew that he's supposed to become, in order for her to become the Jew that they're supposed to become, the most important thing is to not allow the tum'ah to enter your mind. Because if you allow the tum'ah to enter your mind and enter your heart, it doesn't matter how many tzvot you do, there's always going to be filth on them. You can get the best piece of meat in the world, but if there's filth on it, no one's going to eat it. Doesn't matter what the cow was. It can be a red cow from the Bet HaMikdash. There's filth on it, no one's going to eat it. Your neshama cannot get to its full potential if it has filth on it. And if you allow this filth to constantly hit your system every day for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours every day, how are you expecting to arrive to Olam HaBa? How exactly do you expect to learn Torah and understand anything? When you go up to Shamayim, what are you going to tell Hashem? The annual salary cap of the Knicks for the last 20 years in a row because you remember it by heart? Or who was the best trade over the last 20 years in baseball? What are you going to tell them in Shamayim? In Shamayim, you go up there, you have to say 40 days and 40 nights of Shul Torah. And some Chachamim say it's not 40 days. Wrong. It's 180 days. 180 days of Torah. No jokes. No jokes, no breaks, no bathroom, no food. 180 days straight of Torah. How are you going to have time to learn that much, to say that much, if you're spending your time watching sports? How? Never. Never going to be. And you'll also notice that most successful people in the world do not waste their time on this stuff. There are a few exceptions here and there, but generally speaking, that's only after they became really, really successful and they have nothing to do with their life, like this Mark Cuban that decided that he likes basketball and he bought a basketball team, so he goes to every game because he has nothing else to do with his life. But generally speaking, it's very rare. Successful people in life do not become fans of sports. They'll watch it randomly. They'll go once a year to some Super Bowl game or whatever it is, just for the show and to have something to do. But everyday fan, no chance in the world. Why? They're too busy being successful. If the people that are successful know that you cannot waste your life watching sports and watching TV, and they just want to be successful in this world, It's even more so if you want to be successful in the next world as a Jew. How much your responsibility is to refrain from watching all of this nonsense and wasting your life. Next question.